My garbage person of the week is regrettably Tucker Carlson for doing what he does. Let's go to this video.
Last night, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled on a new abortion law in the state of Texas. That decision came down, by the way, 5-4. That's the exact split that decided Roe v. Wade almost 50 years ago. So it's good enough to have meaning. This time, the court upheld a Texas law that effectively bans abortion once a fetal heartbeat is detected. Typically, that's about 6 weeks into a pregnancy. Now, this new law does not allow the government of Texas to enforce the ban, so no one's going to jail over abortion. Instead, the new law lets citizens sue clinics that commit illegal abortions. So no matter how you feel about abortion, it's kind of hard to argue this is an especially radical law. Intentionally stopping a person's heart from beating is the definition of killing. Government has a right to regulate that. In fact, deciding when it's okay to kill a person is, on the most basic level, the whole reason to have laws in the first place. So whether it's right or wrong, or whether you like it or not, it's not a crazy statute.
So we sort of crossed over. Basically, pick a random entitled rich white guy and he doesn't give a damn about what happens to all these women. But in this particular case, there's a few reasons I chose him as my garbage person. Here's the most shallow. It wasn't 5-4 that Roe v. Wade was decided. It was 7-2. It takes 3 seconds of research to know that, and I'm sure that he does, as he claims that it was 5-4 and then smiles at the camera. And it's not just that he got the fact wrong, which is weird enough considering the staff he has. It's that he used that similarity to what the Supreme Court just did as a point. But no, it was 7-2. Anyway, he doesn't acknowledge why the state isn't enforcing it. He mentions it. He doesn't mention that that's obviously purposefully done to try to allow the Supreme Court the cover they need to not actually rule on it. He doesn't talk about the prospect of other bounty laws, some of which, by the way, he might end up not liking were they to be passed. He doesn't engage in any way with any of the substance of the bill. He just states in his waxed-faced apathetic tone that no, stopping someone from exercising the rights they've had for more than a half century after just 6 weeks isn't radical. No one could possibly think that. If anyone tells you it's radical, it's not. By the way, Joe Biden is a radical commie. That's his show, effectively. It is putting a bored expression, a bored face on the insane Christian fascist, I almost swore, stuff that they're doing right now. And his almost entirely old male audience is going to eat it up because although many of them have enthusiastically been involved in abortions in the past, and they know that if anyone they care about needs one, they'll be able to get one. It's just great to think about the fact that all these poor people in Texas won't.
Everyone.
Quickly, sorry.
So, all right, I'll just say this. Tucker Carlson has no logic on his show ever. He says stuff and then he says so. Ipso facto, essentially, and then he says something that does not follow whatsoever from what he just said.
Yes,
but people hear him. It's almost musical. It's like na 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 na. And because of that resolution to the next chord, that guy, everyone's like, oh, it sounded like he set up and made a conclusion. But if you take it and parse it out and look at what he's arguing, it doesn't make any sense. It is all the style of something that is a coherent argument, but there is no substance there, and that is textbook Tucker Carlson.
Exactly. Well, those are our garbage people. Who did you choose? Well, 39,000 of you, nearly matching the record, voted this week. And coming in at number 5, the 1% you have Tate proclaiming Christians aren't scared of COVID. Nobody cares about Tate Reeves, I guess. Number 4 with 7% of the vote is the Wisconsin School Board for refusing to provide free lunches to students. I'm glad that people are still thinking about that. Number 3 with 10% of the vote is Joe Rogan for promoting everything but the vaccine to fight COVID. Number 2, 11% of the vote is Madison Cawthorn for his comments celebrating the insurrectionists, but in an overwhelming victory, just about as high as we've ever had. Your community garbage person of the week with 70% of the vote is the Supreme Court for allowing Texas's draconian abortion law. So we may not have all agreed on the exact person responsible for this or who we're mad at, but that's pretty much what the community cares about, and I think that's very understandable.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.